Special thank you to the EA Creator Network for providing access to the Kitchen Clutter Kit. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at the latest kits for The Sims 4. We're going to look at the Kitchen Clutter Kit in this particular video, but I will have another video up on the channel for the Restoration Workshop Kit. But let's focus on the Kitchen Clutter Kit. So it has 31 items. They're all on the screen here. I just built a small little kitchen room so that way we can kind of see how everything goes together nicely and stuff. So yeah, it's a really interesting kit, especially if you like clutter. A lot of the items are quite nice. For example, you have this culinary caddy, which I guess I'll put out here. That way you guys can actually see it. But it's a nice little caddy that has a little bit of stuff on it. Whoops, hit the wrong button there. Sorry about that. Lighting. There we go. Yeah, so it has a little bit of clutter inside there. Also has a bunch of different color swatches so you can pick and choose and kind of match to your own style. There are these little storage bins, which by default they're white, which is probably like rice or something, but you can actually change the swatches to other ingredients. So that's very cool. A lot of people have these in real life. There's also a taller version, which has the exact same swatches and items, but what's also really cool is that they can stack on top of each other. So that is really neat. So you can make some really like good looking pantries or just, you know, a corner of snacks or whatever, whatever you see fit with that. Then we have a new cutting board, which can snap to this particular caddy here, but also to the countertops too without much of a problem. And yeah, bunch of different color swatches to kind of match your style and however you'd like to use it. Next up, we have a scale, a vintage scale. So in this particular case, it's probably not functional in the sense that the scale will move. It's more decorative, but you have a bunch of different color swatches to match your kitchen style. And then I imagine if you were to take something like this kitchen storage jar, it actually will snap on top. So that's quite nice. That is another new item, which also has a variety of color swatches and different things in it, such as like, looks like carrots there. And I want to say that looks like lemons. But yeah, you have a bunch of different swatches for that. There's a new kitchen sink, which I think is really nice. Probably be using this a lot myself, only because it has like stuff in it, which I think is so cool. I don't know why they don't do that more often. Like even just like a cup or a plate or something. Like it doesn't have to have like forks or anything. That fork does look a little strange, but that's okay. So normally we don't really see the forks a whole lot, like only when Sims are eating. So it's not really like a thing. Looks like there's also a sponge in there too. Bunch of different color swatches. I do appreciate that they included a solid black, but also kind of like this nice lighter stainless steel color. So that is really nice. Then we have some herbs. So you can have a little potted plant of herbs. As far as color swatches for that, it seems to only change just the pots. It doesn't actually change what the herbs are in the pots. So that's okay. We have a new backsplash here, which is more of like a decorative thing, which we've seen this in a couple of the like more recent kits where they've included like these like decorative wall pieces that you can use to make a tile backsplash in between like cabinets and stuff. So we'll just put that behind what will become a stove. There is no new stove for this kit, but I will include a stove when I upload this room to the gallery later in the video. But yeah, you can see a lot of different colors. I think this would also be useful maybe in a shower or bathroom situation too. So if you have the latest bathroom kit, the sleek bathroom kit, I think this could also work very well with those objects. Next up, we have flavorful frames. Almost said that the wrong way. So yeah, we have a bunch of different swatches. So you have things like broccoli, a little bit of wine or nectar, as Sims call it, grilled cheese. That's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna keep that one up. A lemon, some coffee. Looks like llama cereal, which is actually pretty cool. Freezer bunny cereal, and just some general things: peanut butter and jelly, and just kitchen clutter. I think we're gonna go back to the grilled cheese. I think that'll look nice there. Next up, we have cereal boxes, which I don't know why we've never had these before. So you have the open box, and I think these are all, yeah, these are all the same swatches mostly as like the picture frame that we just saw, but there are variations that actually have some of the cereal spilled out on the surface below. That one kind of looks like dog food, but anyway. Then we have Sinkside Essentials, which is another clutter item. And we'll just kind of put that here. It's not letting me put it where I want to, but we will make do with that. And just color swatches doesn't really change the items, just more of the swatches of the canisters. But I would like to ideally put it like closer to the sink, but I might have to get some move objects going, which I don't have enabled currently, but that's okay. We have Bake Off Besties, which are just little oven mitts, which I think is nice. We'll put those over here by where the stove will go. And you have a lot of different patterns. I think we'll go with something like that, maybe. Next up, we have this brew and sip mug tree, which I know right where this is going. Oh, maybe not. Maybe with move objects. I was going to try and tuck it in the corner over here, but I really should have put move objects on, but that's okay. So yeah, a lot of different color swatches on this. Doesn't change the items, just the colors, but I can appreciate some more simple colors. I think we'll go with that one for this particular build. Next, we have the kitchen canister. So I imagine this is more of just like cluttery stuff, so you can kind of put them together like that. A bunch of different swatches. They don't stack or anything, and some of them have writing and some of them do not. I don't know if I prefer the ones with writing. They're kind of nice, I guess, in their own way. I'd probably tend to gravitate more towards the ones that don't have the writing, just for a simpler look. And then we have the topsy-turvy tableware, which is just some dishes clutter, which is nice to see always, because we do have a couple of dishes and stuff that came with like expansions, like Horse Ranch came with a couple of dishes, and then a couple of the other kits. I believe Home Chef Hustle came with some plates and things that you can stack, as well as Everyday Clutter came with like mugs and stuff, but it's always nice to have like new ones instead of using the same ones for like open shelving or just, putting on your countertop. But I have to say, I really like that one. That's pretty neat. We'll use that. Then we have a dish rack, which, again, I'm running out of room. We'll just put it over here. But I will put this together in a more organized fashion as a functional room. But you just have different color swatches. But very nice. Probably will use this quite a bit. And then we have the Jar of Delights, which is a new cookie jar. Finally, it's nice to have a new cookie jar because I think the only cookie jar we have is Base Game. And that one's like always open. So it's like the cookies are just forever stale. So, but that's nice. Doesn't seem to change the contents, just the lid, which, it's okay, I guess. Then we have the handy cleaning caddy, which actually I think that would go well. And it does snap under here, so that's nice to have in your little cart here. But that just has different color swatches, doesn't change what's inside. And then we have some new utensils, which is always nice to use by the stove. Oh, and that fit perfectly right there. It beats always using the Base Game ones, which are getting kind of old, but I do like that some of the like wooden spoons actually go a little bit darker. Depending on the color swatch. I think we'll go with the blue one. I'm kind of gravitating more towards like the light blue things, if you haven't noticed. I don't know. I think it just goes nice with the green that I'm using throughout. Then we have Flour Powered Ensemble, which is meant to look like you're mid-baking, which can stack on top of the cutting board, which is kind of nice. I bet with a little bit of alt placement, you can get stuff kind of positioned a bit better. Although I just noticed the flour around it disappeared, but that's okay. Weird little thing, I guess. And it actually sticks, so that's pretty cool. But you can also use it on anything. It'll work on any surface top. Not, it doesn't have to be on the cutting board. Like you can put it on the countertop. And if the countertop was darker, you could probably see the flower underneath. Yes, there we go. So you can see like the flowers surrounding it, which is a nice detail. It looks like you're kind of mid baking, which is something you don't see if you snap it to something else. Then we have the Cookbook Pro display, which this is an all digital cookbook for your Sims. I guess we'll put it in this corner because it's the only slot I seem to have left. And yeah, it looks like we got a bread recipe, and it doesn't change the contents of the actual digital cookbook, but more just the frame colors. So yes. Next up, we have the Clutter Carousel, which I think this would go great in the corner, but again, move objects. But we'll sort that out. But we just have some general clutter. Actually, that might go great like on a, not like a dining room table, but like maybe like a side table or something. Just has a little bit of random kitchen clutter and things. And then we have the Cookie Chaos, which is another one of those like mid-bake kind of things. Like it looks like you're like baking in progress, which I think would be really nice for really anything. A nice little like family kind of story. I like that they included like red, so you can maybe use this around like the holiday time, or even the green. But it's just nice for storytelling to have like those things that kind of look like they're in progress. Then we have a new spice rack, which is nice too. We had a newer one that came with Home Chef Hustle, but this is nice to have. And I believe the colors just change the actual unit colors, not so much anything else. Next up, we have the knife block, which I'm running out of room, so I guess we're going to go to the floor. But that's all this is. It's just a new knife block, which, again, appreciate a new knife block. I don't really use these a whole lot. I don't know. I just find them a little strange to be on display. I'd personally keep like, knives in a drawer. So I wouldn't really use this a whole lot, but to each their own. But it's still nice to have something like that. Next up, we have this hanging fruit basket, which I think is going to go right there because it just fits perfectly. And yeah, just different color swatches of the baskets. I think we'll go with that one. That's quite nice. And yeah, what do we got inside? Looks like we got some potatoes, tomatoes, an onion. Oops, some bananas, some apples. It's nice that they're 3D, at least slightly, like some bits of it are 3D, and it's not just flat pancake. So that's, like a flat pancake image. So it's nice to have a little bit of a 3D element in there. Then you have a little lunchbox, which is like a little kid's kind of lunchbox that has like a sandwich and a milk and a little cracker snack pack. Some vegetables. As far as colors, let's see what we got. We got like a pink one, which I believe also changes the decal on the back, which we'll rotate this just so we can see that a little better. But yes, we have little decals that change along the back, which I believe those are void critters. And then you just have solid colors like white or black. That one's kind of cute. So we'll use that one. Next up, we have a timer, which is just a kitchen timer, which probably functions more like an alarm clock, but still nice to have. I'm sure it probably works in a similar fashion. You could just maybe you could set a time with it. Then again, it might not do anything. But I don't have a sim here to actually like be able to test it, but I'm pretty sure it is functional. It doesn't say that it is, but I don't know. Then we have a new fridge, which for some reason won't go there. Why not? Why are you not going into your slot? That's weird. Can't intersect other objects. What other objects? Like, there's literally nothing there, unless you're talking about the cookbook. But, like, yeah, it was the cookbook. Okay, well, good to know. I don't like the counter gap. I mean, this is base game counters, but still, like, the gaps are huge on either side. So that's a little bit unfortunate. But I do love a new fridge. Can't argue with that. And I love that when you change the swatch, it changes the drawings. Like, this one's really nice. Again, this is great for like that storytelling element. So you have like musical things, and oh, that one's kind of nice too. And then you just have a black one, and then you have solid colors as well. I think we'll go with a nice soft blue one, maybe. Yeah, that's kind of nice. And then lastly, we have the Fresh Finds grocery bag. So this is just a bag full of groceries, which there is one, I believe, that came with one of the expansions. I want to say maybe Cottage Living, but it's more of like a debug item. It's kind of hidden, so like it's not really a functional thing. And this probably isn't functional either. It's more of a decorative thing. But it's nice just to have that kind of out, like your Sims went shopping for groceries or something like that. So yeah, but that is it for the Kitchen Clutter Kit. If you do feel like picking up this kit on the EA app or thesims.com, feel free to use my creator code. It's just TheSimified. I'll put it on the screen now. It just goes to support me as a creator, and it provides a small commission to me as a creator. So yeah, feel free, but no pressure to do so. I hope you enjoyed this little overview of the new Kitchen Clutter Kit. And yeah, stay tuned for more. We're going to check out the restoration workshop next. So make sure to subscribe and also check out the channel for that video coming very shortly after this one. All right. Well, thank you very much, and I will see you very soon.